Hey everybody, it's Alex, the founder and CEO at Motoroso, and in this video we're doing a step-by-step installation guide for a catback exhaust system on the new full-size 2021 and up Ford Bronco. And this thing sounds great because we've installed the AWE 0FG exhaust, and we made a separate video about that exhaust system right here where we go through the details of the exhaust and the sound recording so you can hear just how good it sounds. But in this video we'll show you how to install it, which should be a useful video for anybody installing a catback exhaust system. Now this system is unique. There are 5 different configurations. They have a twin tip system, they have a single exit system, and every single one of their kits comes with their new BashGuard, which is a low profile pipe that sits way up under the bumper so it has maximum clearance. So if you're really going to push your Bronco to the limits, this AWE is the best combination of great looks in this configuration and then maximum clearance for off-road performance. And we'll show you how to swap the tips at the end of this video. In the meantime, let's get started with the install.
Prior to removing anything, go to each part of the exhaust where there are connections, nuts, bolts, or the rubber exhaust hangers and spray some penetrating oil to make everything easier to remove. Starting immediately under the driver's seat, find the exhaust flange to the downpipe and remove the 2 15mm nuts. On the frame beside the flange, remove the 2 10mm bolts holding the exhaust hanger. Just behind the rear axle, loosen the 15mm clamp to the muffler. Above the rear axle, find the exhaust hanger for the overpipe and wiggle and slide the rubber hanger off the hanger post. Before removing completely, make sure the midpipe is separated from the downpipe. With the hanger off, twist and rotate the midpipe to remove it from the muffler section, and then carefully slide it out from over the axle and pull it completely out of the vehicle. Start by removing the exhaust tip side of the muffler by pulling the rubber hanger off the hanger post towards the front of the vehicle. Fully remove the muffler by pulling the rubber hanger off the hanger post by pulling towards the rear of the vehicle. We went ahead and weighed the OEM exhaust midpipe and muffler on the scale and it came in at 34 pounds. Now we also weighed the AWE system with separate components, and with the BashGuard tip installed it only weighs 24 pounds. That's a 10-pound savings. And with the tips installed it actually weighs the same 34 pounds as the OEM exhaust, but looks way better. Before installing the AWE exhaust, you'll need to remove the rubber hangers from your OEM exhaust. Start by placing the rubber hanger onto the midpipe, that's the part with the muffler section, and then line up the flange with the downpipe. Here you will reuse your OEM 15mm nuts on the flange, and then go ahead and replace the hanger with the 10mm bolts. Now go ahead and fully tighten these nuts and bolts down, but for the rest of the exhaust install, you're going to assemble everything loosely and wait to tighten everything down until everything's in place and aligned properly. Next, if you have the 4-door version of the Bronco, you'll need to install the small extension pipe. First, place a band clamp over the midpipe and then press the wide portion of the extension pipe over the midpipe, making sure that the bend in the pipe bends away from the drive shaft. Slide the pipe all the way on until it bottoms out, and then slide the band clamp over the joint and loosely snug, but make sure the pipe can still be moved. Now slide another band clamp over that midpipe section and grab one of the locking collars and slide it onto the hanger post of the overpipe, but do not tighten it yet. Now you're ready to pass your overpipe over the axle with the exhaust hanger in front of the axle. Then press the overpipe onto the midpipe. Now work the hanger post into the rubber hanger. Make sure the overpipe is pressed all the way until it's bottomed out on the midpipe, and then place a band clamp over the joint and snug it down, but do not tighten it. Now place the other collar on the outside of the hanger. You can snug this to stay in place, but don't fully tighten it yet. Before placing the tip section, it might help to use a little bit of lubrication on the rubber hangers. Then go ahead and place both rubber hangers on their posts. Start by placing a band clamp on the overpipe. Then start with the tip section on the passenger side hanger. Press the hanger post into the rubber hanger, pushing towards the rear of the vehicle. Then press the inlet pipe onto the overpipe and try to do this at the same time as aligning the other rubber hanger with the hanger post. Press the inlet pipe all the way down onto the overpipe and place the band clamp over the joint and loosely snug. Now prepare your exhaust tips with the nut and bolt and place the tips on the end of your exhaust pipes. Loosely snug, but again, don't tighten these yet. Now we're going to go back through and tighten everything up. Going back to the front of the midpipe, make sure all the pipes are seated as far onto each other as possible and tighten the first band clamp to at least 60 foot-pounds of torque. Then making sure the alignment of the overpipe is not making contact with anything, tighten down the second band clamp. Making sure the rubber hanger is hanging directly down and not pulling the exhaust system to one side or the other, slide the locking collars onto each side of the rubber hanger and fully tighten these down to keep everything in place. Now press the rear tip section onto the overpipe, making sure that it's fully bottomed out. At the same time, twist the pipe to make sure that the tips are hanging level, and then you can tighten the band clamp when everything is aligned properly. Now adjust the rotation and amount that you want the tips poking out past the bumper, and then fully tighten your tips in place. We recommend triple checking all bolts and band clamps are fully tightened to make sure everything will stay in place. Now we're going to show you how to swap out your tips for the off-road BashGuard. First, loosen the band clamp of the tip section, connecting it to the overpipe. Leaving the rubber grommet on the tip section, start on the passenger side and pull the rubber hanger off the hanger post, pulling towards the front of the vehicle. Then, leaving the rubber hanger on the driver's side of the car, pull the tip section off the overpipe and out of the rubber hanger. Now slide the BashGuard hanger post into the rubber hanger and onto the overpipe until it's fully seated. Slide your band clamp over the joint and then fully tighten. And there you go, you've got the AWE 0FG BashGuard in place, and you have 2 exhaust systems in one.
All right, I hope you found that helpful. As you can see, everything's easily accessible and a pretty straightforward installation. Only thing you have to wrestle with is those rubber hangers. Now, if you're ready to purchase an exhaust system, we carry many other brands beyond the one we've just installed here, but we highly recommend this AWE. You're gonna wanna check this thing out. We made a separate video about that, and we'll put a link to that product right here, as well as all 5 configurations in the description. Now, we made a separate video about it. If you want to go deep on the details, watch that video right here and subscribe to our channel because we've got suspension, wheels and tires, and lighting coming soon on our build. You're going to want to follow along and see it all. Thanks for watching.